Hello world, and welcome back to DxO. My name is Don, and this is take 2 of processing my image of a water droplet. Just did it, and then shortly afterwards realized my microphone was not on, so I should keep that stuff to myself, but yeah, I don't mind. Anyway, so on to my water droplet. I just decided to give this a go today. Little bit of fun. I've been thinking about it for a little while. Never ever tried it before. I'll put up an image. So this is the setup, and it's pretty straightforward. Nothing shocking. Like I said, obviously I could make some improvements. You know, there's some specular highlights down the bottom here that I probably should have spent some more time trying to get rid of, but it's all right for a first go. I don't mind. So this is the shot. I put this image in here just to show this is how I managed to get focus. I just put this beside and focused on that. Then it's kind of midway on the glass, so that worked. I'd originally gone for something a bit more like this, which I was having tried. So that's at f2.8. I think in the end I shot it at f5.6, and it's just because it's an 80mm lens, quite close focus. So the depth of field was really shallow. And again, I was just trying to, it's photo a day. I was just trying to kind of do it, but not spend too much time on it. So I widened that, up. But in a way, you know, there are certain trade-offs, obviously, because look at how silky smooth that backdrop is. By comparison to this, where we start to see some texture. But that's okay, because I've got a wee technique that I'll show you to kind of tame that texture a little bit, and it's not too hard to do at all. So let's jump in and give this a go. So what will we do? We'll start out with a bit of a exposure boost. Just come up here. So I'm going to do some exposure compensation, and you know, this is white styrofoam, and this is some certainly nearly white card stock of some type. So, you know, this all needs to be brightened up quite a bit. So 0.7 looks pretty good. I'm going to pop smart lighting on and watch the histogram here when I do. So what you'll see is it doesn't overly brighten it up anymore, but it does kind of just pull things out a little bit. It adds a little bit more depth to those elements that are, you know, the blue elements basically, by pulling those down a little bit. So a little bit more depth there. So that's all good. Now, a couple of things I know that I'm going to want to do. I'm going to pop into local adjustments here, and I'm going to just grab a control point, and I'm going to pop it on here. And this is pretty straightforward. I think it's going to ease this. You can see that obviously the flash was on the right, and it kind of, it's darkening to the left, and I kind of want to even those out a little bit. So the control point should do a really nice job of this, just blending it in nicely. So I'm just going to raise that up a bit. And it does, so I'm going to crop this. I'm going to give it a square crop, because I want it to be symmetrical. I don't want there to be too much, you know, space on either side, because it just gets a bit airy. So let's see, I'm just going to stop there for a second. Yep, that lifts it up. So I'm going to crop it, but that still makes, even with the crop, that'll still make a bit of a difference to help keep that even looking. So I will go ahead and do that. And before I crop, another thing that I know I'm going to want to do is straighten this line here, because this line is currently just not quite right. And you know, obviously that needs to be fixed. So I'll grab the level tool up here. And there's some different ways to do that, but the level tool is pretty quick and easy. I'm going to roughly place it. I'm going to go 1 to 1, and just scroll down to fine tune how that's placed. There we go. It should be good. Just because it's a bit hard to see when you're out further. And then I will pop back out again and do apply, and we get the old twist going on there. Great. And then I'll pop over, so I'm just coming over here into the geometry space. So there's a horizon tool here as well. Obviously I got it from the menu bar up there, but you can see that I can also access it that way. And I'm going to go crop, and it will automatically go to automatic. But I'm going to change this ratio to 1:1. And obviously that needs to, wait, now I see. I was just looking at that saying, why do I have crosshairs? Because you can see that the horizon tool is still active. So I just need to pop down here and close that. And now I get the hand tool so I can move things around. So now that that's closed, back to the crop tool, grab that instead. And I can just even that out. And in fact, I think I might do something like that and something like that, just a little bit. Yep, that'll do. Nice. Okay, so straightened out, the tone is better. Yeah, nice. I'm going to do a little bit, I'll do an HSL adjustment with the colors here. So I'm going to pop over to the color tab, and here's HSL currently closed, but we'll grab that. This nice little wheel that we have here. So if I turn it on, and it's got the blue channel selected already, I'm just going to grab the eyedropper and come over and pick one of my representative blues that I'm after. Give that a click, and it adjusts what's selected here. There's the core of the selection, and then the feathering out, which you can do different things with, including like getting real jiggy with it and making it be green water, which is quite cool. But that's not what I'm about right now. Let's get that back there. I'm just going to increase my saturation a little bit. And I'm also going to drop my luminance a little, and just especially watch this water here. And you see that it kind of just adds a little bit of panache to that. And not much, just 8 or 9 points on the scale that they have here, but it just adds a little bit more depth to that color and makes it stand out a little bit more. So that is great. Now, what else? Not too much, but I do have a little experiment, and that's going to be in the local adjustment space. What have I got left open now? Is it it's the HSL tool, isn't it? Yep, that's the one. Cool. Yes, so my local adjustment that I was after. So going here, so it's got even though that's on over there and that's been cropped, I think we'll see that it's still making a bit of a difference. So that was still a worthwhile thing to do. But I'm going to add another adjustment. So I'm going to just right click, plus right click, and I'm just going to grab the brush. I can do this a bit fast. Just going to go here. I'll come back and erase around the glass a little bit more. Sometimes easier to remove again than it is to be super careful. Awesome. So I'll just grab the eraser tool and zing that along there, zing that along there. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, because what I'm going to do, I don't think is going to leave like a terribly hard line or anything like that. So that should be fine. So what I want to try, having selected that, is because there's this texture in the background that I don't absolutely love. And microcontrast, I've commented before about how microcontrast, you can bring a lot of that styrofoam detail back. But if I go the other way, I can actually blast it out of existence. Also softens that line down there a little bit more. I might, because I still have my eraser tool selected, don't I? So I might actually drop the opacity a little bit down to 25-ish, and I'm just gonna let's see, do the same here. I might go a little bit further, but I just want to, I like that it's reduced that line, but I don't want to go too much. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's better. It's still noticeable, but it's not not quite as gone as it was. So cool little technique for pulling the texture out of something that that you wish wasn't there. I know I've used it before for just a little bit of skin softening, just pulls a little bit of the intensity out of the detail and sharpness of the skin. So nice. Awesome. Oh, now there was one other thing that I was going to do really quickly. So I'll close this being the local adjustments. I'm back here again. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and I just notice I just find these little bits here just a touch distracting, especially this one and this one and this one, and possibly this one. So I'm just going to use the heal tool right here, boom, and make it a bit smaller. And I see that it is on clone, and that's not what I want. I want it on repair. So it's picked a place that I don't love, so I'm just going to come here and change it a little. Awesome. Cool. I'm going to close that and back out a little bit. Yeah, nice. Yeah, they just were catching my eye a little bit. Excellent. So with that, I think that's it for the day. Probably a short one. But thank you so much for coming along. Hope that you found something new. I know that I haven't used HSL before, so that might be something new. And I haven't used that micro contrast reduction trick before, so maybe that's something new. Oh, and just before I sign off, I think that this wants just a smidge more contrast. I'm just going to boom this, let you see. Not much, like that. Maybe like that. Just a little tone curve. Nearly forgot at the end. So thanks so much. See you again. Bye-bye.